How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I feel like I need to keep talking in hopes that you can hear me. But wait, now why do I feel like I messed up my camera? Oh my goodness. Hi, babe. Mommy's trying to get everything figured out, so hold on just a second. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, so we fixed that, but all you can see is my arm, and I have moved my arm since then.
Just do something else. Just cancel it.
Okay.
Just cancel your card.
Okay, I think maybe Denise says hi. Jenny says, I can't hear you. Now you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me now. Jenny says, hi, Claire. Okay, so you can hear and you can see movement. My arms have moved. Okay, we are good, I think. Craziness. I like to set this up early, but sometimes if I set it up too early, then it like times out or something on me. So anyway, now that we are 5 minutes in, let's go ahead and get started. I hope you can hear me, you can see me, and everything is all good. So again, I am Laura with LaurasStampPad, and this is the July online card class. Okay, so if you have the card packet and you're stamping along with me tonight, then we're going to start with the crumb cake card base. So I think that's the only, yeah, this is the only crumb cake card. So yeah, if you're stamping along with me with the kit, then go ahead and get out your crumb cake one. And we will get started with that. I'm actually going to do this one a little bit different because I just wanted to try out one of the pieces of the designer paper in the pack that I hadn't used yet. So instead of busting open another pack, I thought I would try it with the red since I was all out of the green. I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, I think it'll look fabulous. And then the other part of me is like a little nervous that it's not going to look the same. So I'm a little worried. But the designer paper, the one horse open sleigh designer paper is stunning. It's got these really awesome, like, snowy scenes that as you go through this set, you're going to love just as much as me. So this one, like, as you can see, there's actually two prints in the pack that are green. One of them kind of has, like, almost a yellow hint in between the pattern. But I used up, like I said, I used up both of those, and I thought I would try the red and see what this card looks like with the red. So I don't know. It might look fabulous. It might not. We're just going to go with it. So this actually goes top to bottom with the card. So there's like a little border of crumb cake on the sides, but the designer paper goes top to bottom. In fact, maybe a little too top to bottom, as this is a little hair too long. So how is everyone this Friday night? We survived another week. That's kind of how I feel after this week. This week was a little crazy. Just normal kid chaos. And I feel like I've also been eaten alive by mosquitoes this week. Like, I'm kind of like, I think I need to take a break and not go outside one of these evenings. But, like, that's what we do every night is we go for an evening walk. It's usually the third walk of the day. So it's not like it's the only time I get outside. But I feel like it's the main time that I get eaten alive. So for the inside of the card, I just added an additional strip. As you can see with that pattern, there's like, this is right here. So then this is 6 inches because this is 4. Actually, I'm sorry. This is 4 and this is 1.5. 1 inch. So you can actually get 2 of these strips out of the one piece. And then there's also like another piece up here because this is 5.5. So there's only a 1/2 inch, like a little skinny strip on the top, which you could always use for a different card. But I always like to add a little bit to the side here. Hello from Oregon. Hi, Jeanne. You will be so excited that my parents are actually in Oregon. Let me think. Where did they say that they were staying tonight? I think like, is there a Fredericksburg, Fred something? I feel like something like that was what they said. I kind of just saw it and went, that's somewhere in Oregon. Okay. And that was the end of it. So, sorry if I totally butchered the name of it. And if you're in that area, fantastic. Okay, so I'm using early espresso and wishing you a season of cheer. And this I'm actually going to stamp. This is a perfect square, so you don't have to worry about like the right or the wrong side of it. And I'm just going to stamp this down on the bottom. And I'm doing that first because I don't want to have my trees too low. That doesn't sound familiar. Well, they're in Southern Oregon, close to the ocean, because they actually started in California, and they're 98 degrees. Yeah, that does sound very hot. So they started in California, and they're like making their way up the coast, and then they're getting on a cruise in Vancouver of Alaska. I'm so jealous, but they're sending me pictures, and it looks amazing, and I'm excited for them. Okay, so we have this, and then I have little trees. So this is one of the dies that we're using. It's one of the detailed dies. It doesn't actually coordinate with the stamped image. It's its own little detail. And I have this in like the 3 neutrals. So we have crumb cake, early espresso, and pecan pie, or pecan pie, however you want to call it. Do you guys call it pecan or pecan? You can spell it Peacan or like normal pecan. I don't know. Yes, they are super looking forward to it. I think they're going to be gone for like 3 weeks, and I'm going to miss them. But luckily, we're texting back and forth. I almost feel like I'm talking to them more now than whenever they're at home. But that's probably because there's not as much to say when you're just at home doing your normal thing every day, right? So I already have the 2 trees already die cut. So we're just going to toss in this third one for a little die cut. You call it pecan? Okay. Anybody else? Jenny, you're getting a cast on Tuesday. What are you getting a cast on? A leg, an arm? An arm and a leg? Is it going to cost you an arm and a leg? Probably. Hi, Colleen. Oh, I'm so glad you got your kid on Tuesday. Fantastic. Perfect timing. That was super fast, which means hopefully you will get your snowflakes tomorrow then. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't order enough snowflakes for all the kits that I mailed out, as well as the class that I already had. So sometimes I do this class after my in-person class, and sometimes I do it before. And yeah, whenever I do the in-person class first, then sometimes they get really excited about the embellishments, and I don't know, I miscalculated. Such is life, right? Especially when you have kids and they take up every waking hour, and sometimes not waking hours. Okay, so there's my third little tree. So you can use mini glue dots, like kind of at the intersections of each of like the branches, or you can also use the fine tip glue pen. I can't say that the fine tip glue pen is my favorite because I tend to overuse when it comes to liquid glue, but here we go. So I'm going to do it just like I did my original, with the center one being early espresso. So we're just going to add a little adhesive glue here and there. Trying not to add too much. Now you have me all confused and thinking I'm losing my mind when it comes to where my parents are staying. And then I like to hold for like 2 or 3 seconds just to give it a chance. Let's see. Florence. I was so wrong. They're in Florence tonight. I don't know where I came up with Fred something. I don't know. Fred apparently is on my mind. No, Florence. Maybe I shouldn't have looked it up because now I'm like, Laura, you're crazy. You guys are all pecan? Okay. I'll be honest, I've always kind of called it pecan. Like, I don't know how to like say that, but pecan instead of pecan or pecan. And your trees are going to like overlap just a hair. We'll hold this one too. Oh my goodness, Jenny, lemon lime twist and gorgeous grape would be a stunning cast. And you have to tell them that that's the colors. Give them the hex codes and then maybe they can match it perfectly. I'm pretty sure I would do that because if you ask Brad, I talk in Stampin' Up! Colors all the time. Luckily, for the most part, he knows. Sometimes he'll be like, okay, what's that again? And then I'll be like, you know, the bright brown, the bright green, the whatever. That's a beautiful city on the coast. I'm glad you know what I'm talking about now. Now that I have the actual name of it. But yeah, that is where they are tonight. They sent me some pictures. They saw some animal sightings of some seals. You say pecan? Like con man? Pecan. I don't really think there's a right or wrong way, kind of like tomato. So we'll just say everybody's right. Okay, and then now we're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals, which it looks like I am almost out. Do you guys use the edge of your Stampin' Dimensional? Please don't tell me you toss it. Please tell me you use it. No dimensional left behind. Here I have just 2. I usually put all of like the leftovers on my desk to use. Which is why I just have a whole bunch of like random bits. But do you guys use that border? I sure hope so. Do you also use way too many dimensionals like me? I sure hope so as well. It does not need this many. I know it probably doesn't, but you know what? I like it to not be like droopy in the middle or anything like that. So that's why I do what I do. Okay, what are we thinking? Are we liking the red or are we liking the green? What do you guys think? And then we have our snowflakes. So a little tip on the snowflakes. My bunnies just fell on the floor. Is that they like to come off the glue. So be careful. We're going to go with the copper. But they really like to come off. So like you can almost kind of like bend the plastic base that it's on and get it and like pop them off a little bit easier. I think I'm gonna like put these in different spots. I don't know that I like the copper. The copper and the red I don't feel like goes as well. You don't normally pick green, but you like it? I don't know. I think the green looks very masculine and looks very, like, neutral. And I feel like the red makes the trees look naked or dull. Like, I feel like this looks fine, but this does not. Like, it looks like the leaves on the trees are missing and they need to be there or something like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to vote green instead of red, but that's okay. So wishing you a season of cheer, and then you can leave it like that, or you can do and a happy new year on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and stamp and a Happy New Year. And then we will add this to the inside of our card. You use all of your dimensionals. I'm so excited to hear that, Colleen. So, so excited. Hi, Laura. Welcome. Are you guys all on tonight because you just so happen to be free, or because you're hot from outside and you're like, I need an indoor activity this evening? Okay, and then, you know, I don't know what, do I want to do like a brown tree? Maybe. So we'll do a brown tree on the envelope. I'm definitely team green. So yeah, let me know. You like both colors? Okay. Well, that's good to hear. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm team green. But that is card number 1 of our 5-card class. So you really can't, I mean, you can vote whether you like it or not, but there's not really a lot of comparing. So that just is what it is, I guess. So now the second card, if you're following along with your cut card kit, then we're going to do this one. This one has a lot of coloring. Not a lot of coloring, but some coloring, so we can chit-chat a little bit while we do that. Otherwise, this card is so super simple because it's just a piece of the designer paper. And you'll see that I'm actually going to do a different one than I did in the sample here. So I have this one. I also had another piece that I used that had the house in it. It was this piece actually. And then we kind of put this like down up front. And then the house was in the background. So there's lots of different options of how you can do this one with different pieces of paper in the Designer Series paper pack. Because I always want you guys, like, I want you to be able to use, like, the whole pack. I don't want you to say, oh, I bought that whole pack for 3 sheets. Like, actually, I guess it's probably 4 because there's 4 of the same sheets in there. I want you guys to, like, feel like you can use the pack up and not buy multiple packs just for that same 4 sheets. I really like the back of this, too. But anyway, and this piece is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So there's just a very small border of white around the edge. Normally I don't do 1/8, but sometimes I like to drive you all crazy and do an 1/8. Actually, I'm driving myself crazy too because cutting, then I have to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, like not the quarter, not the whole number, but the little spot in between. And then I have these 2 pieces, and you can use whichever side you want. Ooh, it's kind of pretty to use how it cut like the same exact piece. So I actually think I'm going to use that side. For the original, I actually used the blue side, which is the back side. But this time I'm going to use this. And I'm just doing it flush with the bottom, so there's a little bit more room at the top. But yeah, how cool is that? It like super coordinates and looks fabulous. Okay, and then I went ahead and stamped and die cut this. And I have another one that I die cut. I'm actually going to try to stamp this again. And I want to show you something that, you know, best tricks come because you make mistakes, right? So I'm going to see if I can line this up. Oh, I already set it down, so it is what it is. Here it goes. I'm glad you caught me whenever you were on this evening then. Oh, yeah, his head's a little high and the feet are a little off. We're just going to use this one then. So, yeah, head's a little high and my that's a little off, but that's okay. So, one of the things I did want to show you is there's Stampin' Up! Has the neutrals blends. And the SU100, I don't remember what, like, I want to say this is like the darkest one. But the SU100 is pretty much early espresso. So, like, if you have, like, this one I didn't actually have that many spots. But you can always color in and make some, like, if the stamped image didn't come out right, then you can always add a little bit more to make that darker. Like, this is dangerous, though. Because now I'm like, okay, how about there? Well, if I do there, I need to do there. Yeah, okay. So, the colors that I actually used were Real Red, Boho Blue, Night of Navy, and then I used the SU700 to do, like, the faces. So, the faces of my people are done in that. It's a very, like, neutral tone, peachy, whatever you want to call it, color. And then, and then I also have Light Smoky Slate, which I did, like, all the hairs of the horse. So, like, you could color in the whole horse if you wish, or you could just kind of highlight a couple spots. I didn't really want to color the whole horse because I don't know. I'm not, like, the biggest fan of coloring. And I was trying to be a little bit more minimalistic, I think. So, are you a coloring fan? Are you not? I also think I might have just colored the horse's ear. How many of you guys have ridden a horse? I have. I did a lot as a kid, and my aunt had a horse. And we also did a lot of horseback riding on vacations. I know that sounds weird, but so I've been, like, horseback riding in, like, Colorado and, like, stuff. I remember we, like, got to the top of the hill and somebody didn't, and I'm going to say somebody because I was a kid, little kid, didn't put my saddle on tight enough, and we got to the top of the hill and I just went, whoop, and off on the ground I was. Okay, and then I have, like I said, I have both the Real Red Light and Dark, just for, like, a variation in the colors of red. I'm looking at my sample because, like, so this is one of the reasons why I get nervous about coloring is I'm like, okay, wait, do I color that? Do I not color that? Is this supposed to be red? Is this supposed to be gray? Did I just color the wrong face? And I get nervous. Like, a lot of times I jump around with my coloring because I'm just, like, slowly filling in with, like, I know that's a leaf and I don't know what that is, so let's color this. It's a petal. And then I'm like, okay, now that I've colored everything else, I think I can determine that that is, I don't know, another stem or whatever it might be. You really like this card? Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's so super simple. Well, okay, so I take that back. If you love to color, it's super simple. Because I can't necessarily say that, like, coloring is hard or is easy. But I mean, it's really just the horse and sleigh and a greeting. And I'm also going to say that I have no clue what all this stuff is except for a bunch of blankies or bags or something. So again, I use, like, light and dark boho blue for his jacket. And then I did Night of Navy for, I don't know, their blankets. You could always add in, like, another color, but I kind of tried to stick with, like, just a few colors to not, like, make it look like the rainbow. because then I kind of feel like I get off the rails a little bit. Whoop! Oh no. For a microsecond, I was like, just leave it down there. I'll get it later. And then I was like, yeah, it's a Stampin' Blends. It probably shouldn't be uncapped for that long. And then I'll forget, and then it'll be tomorrow. Well, actually, we're going to my parents tomorrow to check out their garden. My mom has a garden like the size of Texas. And with her being gone, then we're going to go pick some veggies. Mostly, like, I have 0 green thumb, right? I told her, don't expect me to do, like, a lot of weeding or anything. I'm kind of just there to pick the veggies and do my best. Mostly to kind of keep stuff alive so that it's not just overloaded and overgrown and a hot mess whenever they get home. So we'll eat some of this stuff, and then we'll bring back some of this stuff and give it to the neighbors, I guess. That could be like neutral for his hand, or he's got red gloves is what I'm going to call it. Okay, I think, oh wait, I forgot to do the bridle and the little spot on the horse. I almost feel like this is one of those little eye things, but it's up really high. I don't really know what it is, but I'm not going to color it because, yeah, I'm too scared. Anyway, I also should have probably stamped this before I started, or before I adhered it, just to be on the safe side, but I didn't, so we're going to wing it, and we're going to do Sending Warmth Your Way, and I think I'm going to put this... Yeah, I think I'm going to put my greeting like right here. So it's kind of like in a lighter area and then away from that and away from that. And I'm going to put my horse on with dimensionals. Hi, Debbie. Welcome. So excited. So I'm doing a few minis just to make sure that like my horse's legs aren't looking like they're collapsing. And then I'll do full ones on the rest. How is everyone's summer going? Have you gone on a trip? Do you plan on going on a trip? I'm living vicariously through all of you guys because I'm not. I don't know. We didn't plan anything early, and we were just kind of like survival mode, and it just doesn't sound appealing to put all 4 of us in a hotel room because if one person doesn't sleep, I don't think anyone's going to sleep. And by that, I mean the 2 kids. And then that would be a disaster. And so we were just kind of like, no, let's just power through and like do some fun things, but just not necessarily like a major overnight trip. So that's what we've done, is a few things and no major overnight trip. But last week, as you saw on my Facebook, last week, then Claire and I went over to my sister's and did a stamp class over in Paris, Illinois. I don't know. I'm almost thinking I want to use the gold ones instead of white because of that golden hue in the background. What do you guys think? Should I use gold? I'm going to let you guys answer while I don't know, should I stamp the inside or should I leave it blank? So on the inside of this one, I used the back side of the designer paper, and I did wishing you a season of cheer and a happy new year. So I did both of them together. So while I stamp the inside, let me know whether I should use gold or white snowflakes. But yeah, Claire and I went over to Paris and stamped with all the girls over there and had so much fun. And I think she really just cared about the hotel pool. But that's okay. I just really enjoyed seeing all my stamp girls and my sister and the kids and everything. Okay. Gold or white? Gold or white? Gold or white? What are we going to stamp on the front here? Maybe just the horse? Ooh, that's really pretty. I feel like I want to add just like those same red marks. I'm not going to do the gray. I don't want to color too much and have it like bleed through, but I'm going to do those little red marks just to make him pop. Go for the gold? I think so too. I'm going for gold. Who's ready for the Olympics? I am. I'm super excited. I know they're not for a while, but that's okay. I'm always excited for the Olympics. Okay, where are we going to put this one? This one. This one. I love it. I love the gold. I think that was the perfect. I don't know. Which one do I love better? This is a tight one. I really like them both a lot. The last one I was like pretty strong on the green over the red, but this one I really like both of them. And I really like the way those trees are on the inside. Oh, all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, did I put the tree upside down? But my grass is going up, so we're good. Gold snowflakes. Yes, it does go with any of the paper packs. It's amazing. Like that horse and sleigh is just phenomenal. I love it. And like I said, if you're using early espresso and you have like some touch-ups on your stamped image, then you can use the SU100, which like I said, I think it's the darkest one. It's the darkest marker in the neutrals. So yeah. You like both too, Judy? That's awesome. I do, like I said, I do too. So now which one do you guys like better? Card 1 or card 2? So this is 1. This is 2. And now we're going to do number 3 with the cute little bunny. So if you have your card packet, then you're going to want to get out the one that's in Lost Lagoon. So we're going to start, which I'm telling you guys, Lost Lagoon and Pool Party. Yum, yum, yummy. I am loving it. And then actually, like, I am not a brown girl. I'm more of like a black girl. I don't know. I don't like brown. I like the super strong contrast. Like, I love black and white. I love like black purses, black shoes. I don't really care for like neutral tones. I don't know why. But you like number 2 the best? Awesome. But yeah, I'm really liking these blues with this brown. I don't know. It looks really good together. Okay, so we can go ahead and add this early espresso layer to our card front. And then we have 2 pieces of Pool Party. One of them goes on the inside. And one of them is for the front. So we're going to toss that one aside. Now I want to show you guys, this is that red on the back. It's a little bit different from that first card. That first card, the red pattern on the back is kind of like I wouldn't say a check. It's like a crisscross, messy red. But this one's kind of like a splotchy one. So let me show you what the designer paper looks like. Maybe. So this is what the designer paper looks like. Okay. Going the other way. And I cut it into 1-inch strips. So it is 5 by 3, and then I cut it into 1-inch strips. So you get 6 strips from one piece of 6 by 6 designer series paper. And then there's a 1-inch left over on either the top or the bottom, whichever you choose to do. So you can get 2 of these cards out of one piece of paper. So as you can see, this one here in my sample is these 3 on this end. So just to mix it up, I'm actually not going to use those. I'm going to use the other end of the paper, which is these 3 down here. So what I actually did is I took the middle one first. And I will say I struggled with my sample. But I will take the middle one first and put it in the center. And I guessed on my center. But if you want, you can measure. You can use the boxes. Actually, I'll just, so let's see, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so like right here. I'm getting way too specific. Normally, I'm not like that. But I felt like the boxes were staring at me like, why don't you just use me? I'm right here. Okay, so that one's in the center. And I don't even feel like it's centered. It looks off. See, this is why I don't measure. It is off. I'm going to peel it back off with some dental floss. So here is a fabulous trick for you if you've never done this. I don't use the dental floss anyway that the dentist gives me. One, because I don't floss as often as I do or should. And 2, I use those like little placker things. So I still want to use up that dental floss so that I don't feel bad whenever my dentist asks me if I'm flossing. And what I'm going to do is I slide it underneath my card and pull down to break the seal of the adhesive without ripping the cardstock. And it also doesn't curl the cardstock or the designer paper and then make it look all rippy. So I'm just going to add just a dab more adhesive. There looks to be plenty on there, but I'm going to wing it this time, okay? I feel like I will do better winging it. You can also like put them down. See, I did a better job winging it than I did with the boxes. Okay, and then now work your way out. And this one is centered between these 2. And by these 2, I mean the end and that middle one because that's not really 2. So I'm sorry to confuse you if I did. And then this one is on this side. Gotcha. Okay. So there we have that fun pattern that's like spread apart a little bit, you know, a little bit wider, super cute, super fabulous. And then we have our little bunny. And what I did is, so I stamped him and then I die cut him with the coordinating die. And then if you want a dirty bunny, I know this sounds so funny. And I thought everybody at the in-person class was going to be like, oh. And then they're all like, how did you make that dirty bunny again? I want a dirty bunny. So everybody liked it apparently. But I just took a little bit of the aqua painter. Don't squeeze. You don't need any extra water than you already have. Now, I hope this works because I already stamped it. But now I'm just going to like lightly go over. And it's not going to work. Of course it's not. Okay, let's see if I can stamp this bunny. Got it. Okay. So since I just stamped it, he's like nice and fresh. And I'm just going to like lightly pull over the stamped image into the bunny. So I'm going to go over that edge with my painter tip and pull down. And now I'm going to go up and touch that bottom edge and pull the color up. Okay, so there I have my dirty bunny. So it just gives him just a hair of some dirty, like, you know, he's not a brown bunny, but he's not a white bunny. He's just, you know, a little hinted, and it makes him stand out a little bit more. So to get him on my card, I added a mini dimensional up top. But then I added a glue dot, or you could do, you know, your regular favorite adhesive on his feet. And the reason I did this is because I kind of wanted him to look like 3D. So I wanted him kind of like smashed down here, you know, like against the cardstock, but then looking like he's like jumping up. And I think I'm going to put him down there, right? Maybe I'm going to put him there. And I actually think I might put my greeting like right here instead. So now, which I could have added this to the card front prior to that. Actually, I'm not going to put this on my card yet. Hold on. So then I have my little greeting piece, and I just have like a strip. So my strip here, I want to say is 5/8, and this one is 7/8. So just like a nice little like border. And I stamped the Joyful in Early Espresso. But this time I'm actually going to go like the opposite direction. I always give myself a nice long strip because I'm probably going to make a couple of mistakes. So let's see. I'm going to angle it like this. And then I'm going to adhere it here. And follow that same angle. Ugh, I feel like I'm a little squared off at the top. Don't mess with it. Just let it go. No one's going to notice because it's all blue on blue on blue. And then I could have put that in my paper cutter, but I didn't. So I guess I went down over here and I went up over here. So the reason why I didn't want to put this on my card yet was in case I wanted to use the edge to trim it, but that's okay. I didn't. I just, oh, it helps to have adhesive on the greeting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card. I'm like, why did that just slide right off? Well, I didn't put any adhesive on it. Okay, and that's just going to go. And you can do it flush with the edge of the pool party, or you could do it flush with the edge of, oh, I actually did the designer paper here. Flush with the edge of the designer paper. You could do it flush with the edge of the Early Espresso. You could do it however you wish. So I feel like this bunny looks twice the size of this bunny. I don't know why. And then this one, I did white snowflakes on this. So I'm going to kind of put one like right there in the crack, just to make it like show up a little bit more. So there is our joyful card, but wait, there's more. So on the inside, let's go ahead and show you the sample. I did wishing you a season of cheer. So that's this one. And then I did the bunny down at the bottom. So you don't like, since I did the, like the snow, then you don't want to do them all the way at the bottom, but also kind of at the bottom. How exact is that? Not all the way at the bottom, but also kind of at the bottom. And then the two dies, there's two of them in this set. which is awesome because then you don't have to die cut as many times because you're going to get 2 snowy hills with every crank through, which is awesome. And these snowy hills, it does the entire outline, but then it also gives a little texture line, if you can see that. You like my dirty bunny? Well, thank you, Colleen. I'm glad you do. It adds a little bit to him. So then these are just going to go along the bottom here. And you can add them, like if you need, like really, that would be perfect. So I'm not going to do like the end here because otherwise that giant snowy bump goes right over the bunny and kind of covers up like too much, I would say. So this one I'm going to like hang it off the edge a little bit just because I don't want it to be a rounded tip on the edge of the cardstock. And then this one I'm going to do... Let's see. I'm going to do right there. Perfect. And then now I can just flip it over and use the edge of the cardstock as my cutting guide. And there you have that fun little like snow bank at the bottom. Isn't it crazy, Judy, how you see a set and you're not necessarily drawn to it, and then all of a sudden you see it used and you're like, oh my gosh, now I need it. That happens to me a lot. Okay, and then we will add... Oh no. Are we good? I feel like I lost my connection with you guys. It said lost connection. But I think I might be back. Am I back? Are we good? Okay, I'm back. There isn't a tree to dwarf the bunny. Ah, that's true. You're right. The tree does make the bunny look smaller. He also just looks like fatter and everything. Like, I don't know. He's angled differently. It's the same bunny. Maybe I stamped and he's got like a darker outline. But yeah, who knows? So this is card number 3, the joyful card. And you can let me know which one you're loving the best. That's 3. Here's 2. And here is number 1. I will say our internet connection has been awful lately. And it's been cutting out and shut off and everything. So yeah, I hope that's not what's going on here. And I hope we don't lose our internet. It's a Friday night. Come on, guys. Okay, so if you're doing the card packet, the next one is the navy one. Jean, you say that all the time too? I love it. Yeah, I like so many times. Or I get a stamp set like the Circle Sayings stamp set. I almost didn't get the stamp set. I wanted the punch. I knew I wanted the punch because who doesn't need a circle punch? I mean, everybody does. So I wanted the punch, and I'm like, I don't know that I even really care about that stamp set. But I was like, oh, get it. Bundle and save 10%. It's got a birthday on there. It's got a cupcake. You love cupcakes. Sure, why not? I love that stamp set. Like, it is amazing. And I was not expecting that at all. So, who knows? Okay, so this is the next card. This one I find it to be, like, classic Laura Christmas card because I feel like I use navy, like, all the time. So, yeah, but I also think it would make a really good birthday, like masculine birthday card. So there's 2 pieces of this wood grain, and the opposite side of the wood grain has this really pretty like white pattern with, like white woodsy pattern with a fox on it. But I use the wood grain side. So one of those pieces of wood grain is going to layer on early espresso for the front of the card. And then the other piece is going to go on the inside, of course. It's a tie between 2 and 3. We'll just wait till 4 and 5. Okay, and then we have a square with some fabulous white trees. And the back side is another scenery one. I think it goes like that. Those are rocks. So yeah, this paper pack is to die for. Also, this paper pack is the free paper pack of the month. So everybody who orders from me and places an order of $75 or more in the month, then they will get the free paper pack of the month. And that can be like 2 different orders. That can be 3 different orders. As long as by the end of the month, it totals to be $75 in merchandise, then you'll get that paper pack. And it is this paper pack. So we're going to overlap these. And really, you could add dimensionals to any of these layers if you wish. I only added dimensionals to this final layer with the joyful greeting, which I need to clean. And how is it that I have 85 million chamois and not a single one over here? Hold on just a second. I just cleaned all of them. Well, not all of them. I just cleaned 5 of them, which is why I say I have a million of them and none of them are over here. But yeah, I had like 2 of them went with me last week, and so yeah, I just set them all there to clean them. Now we're moving from early espresso to pecan pie. I can actually close early espresso. That was very smart of me to do the first 3 cards in that, but let me tell you, that was not planned. So I'm doing pecan pie now. And I'm just stamping that little joyful. And then layering that one onto early espresso. And then this last piece goes on the inside. And then I don't remember, did I stamp a greeting? Should I stamp a greeting? No greeting. Okay. So then this one goes on the inside. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how I did the tree, because if you have the PDF tutorial, it might sound a little confusing, and so I didn't really know like how to explain this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut 2 of these trees. I love the mini because I can just plop it down on my workspace and quickly crank it through. I use the mini like probably 95 or more % of the time. So if you're thinking, what do I need a mini for? I have the big one. I thought that exact same way. I was like, why do I need the big one, or why do I need the mini? I already have the big one. It's just like, that's what you would do if you were like traveling, or that's what you would do if you, you know, didn't have a lot of space. And I have a whole stamp room. Not that I have a lot of space because I filled it. But yeah, I thought all of those things. And then I got the mini, and I'll tell you, I probably didn't even use my mini for like 3 months. I know. And now I'm just like, I'm so sorry, mini. Because I love it. I absolutely love it. It actually doesn't even go over to my like embossing or my die cutting station. It stays over here by me because it's a baby and he needs his mommy, right? So yeah, I love it. It's portable. It's so much easier. And I feel like it's just like crank instead of like crank. Yeah, so I absolutely love it. So you need a mini too, because you're going to love your mini just like me. Okay, so I have 2 of these little trees. So in my PDF tutorial, I said cut off the center section. So I'm going to cut off the center and lower it down to create more of a bush than a tree. So like, I don't want it to look like this. Where's my greeting? My greeting is so like little. I don't want a giant tree sticking out to make it look like antlers. I want it to just be like a little bushy like edge. So I want this little bushy edge where I drop my the center of the tree down so it looks like that instead of like that. So I hope that makes sense. Oh, Judy, that's so awesome that you caught me live, although I feel like it's kind of cutting in and out and you can't hear me in the beginning and all that now I kind of feel bad that that this is your first live, but I am excited to be able to chat with you and everything. Okay, so now I'm just going to add adhesive to the back, and we're going to add this little bush to the top corner. And again, I'm going to just snip it right here, lower it down, and press it into this corner. And now, those aren't like super secure. So now I'm just going to add dimensionals over the top because this layer is going to be popped up. So I'm just going to like go over the top of those branches to round. And to cover up that excess adhesive that I probably shouldn't have put on there because I don't want my card to like stick. Okay. We are covered. Oh, fabulous. Well, I love having you on live. Next month, I'm super excited. We're going to do a one-sheet wonder. And I haven't figured out exactly how many cards we're going to do, but there'll be probably a lot more than 5. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited because I haven't done a one-sheet wonder as my online card class. So I'm super pumped. Hi, babe. You say night-night to everybody?
Night-night.
I love you.
I want to show them my bite.
Oh. She would like to show you that Alex bit her today. But you should probably also tell them that you bit him. Yeah. We'll work on being better tomorrow, right?
No.
Yeah. We don't want to get bit every day. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay. I love you. Night-night.
How does this go?
It goes just like that. Yep. Okay.
It's like a puzzle.
It is like a puzzle. Night-night. I love you. Judy says good night.
Good night, Judy.
I don't know if you could hear that or not, but that was cute. So this is the card front, and there's the inside. Colleen says good night. You guys are the sweetest. So see how it's got those like smaller little branches instead of such a tall little tree? Oh wait, and then what should we stamp? I almost feel like we should stamp this one on the envelope. So I'm going to stamp full strength pecan pie, and then I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to go down again, and then, so I did full strength and then moved down and over, and then I stamped like a little here in the corner just because it looked so like white, and I wanted to kind of make it look woodsy. But I feel like this one would make such a good masculine card. Like a little happy birthday on there. This would be fabulous. But I also find that these patterns look really good for like a thinking of you card too. You know, just that peaceful, like serene looking look. But yeah, so this is card number 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're on to the 5th card. I will also put a little disclaimer that my kids don't normally bite. I don't know what was up with that today. But yeah, they were like wrestling around this morning and she like kind of nipped him in the thigh. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as that was. But I feel like it's because she did that this morning that when they were wrestling around this evening, then he got too aggressive and she was being mean and he took a chunk out of her arm. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. Oh, it's like bruised and everything. I swear you could count how many teeth he has by what he did. And that was through a sleeve. But I'm like, you guys, like one does it, you both do it, we both don't do it, stop it. They haven't had a problem with biting in a long time, but who knows where it came from. So hopefully we can have a better day tomorrow with no biting. It would make a really good sympathy card too. Like I said, it's just very peaceful looking, I think. Okay, so the last card is like your traditional red and green. So I used Real Red and Mossy Meadow. And I have my Real Red card base, and then here's my Mossy Meadow. And then there's a big white piece that goes on the inside. Then there's the ribbon, and then there's the 2 other pieces. So there's the square for up top and the strip on the bottom. So up top, which I actually need to clean this tree from the brown earlier. And we're going to stamp it in Mossy Meadow. So I like to stamp my trees like a little staggered. I don't want them to be like 1, 2, 3, or it's going to be like, that looks weird. Or it's going to be like, that one's a little off. They don't look equal. So I purposefully stagger them to make them look a little more like it's woodsy. I also almost feel like with this one super hanging off, I should have done like a little bit right here. But I just did 3, but you could do however many you want. You could even do a second stamp to get like a real tree look. Like, so I'll do it right here. So like, you know, you could do this and then that to kind of get that like woodsy look. But that's all personal preference on how you want to do your card. You are very chatty tonight, Judy, and I love it because I'm very chatty too, and it's perfect. Okay, so there's one tree, and then now we're going to go over and down a little. I feel like I need to go over if I'm really going to make only 3 trees. And then the last one we'll do like a little high up. And it's okay if your trees down here look like they're like floating or something, because we're going to put some more of that that snow at the bottom here. So we're going to add the snow. Again, you can add this snow however you want. You can use the big bumps in spots that you want to cover up a floating tree. You can use it however you want. I'm going to kind of fall off the edge a little again so that I can trim it. And over there as well. Okay. Whoop. Okay, so now we're going to add that to the top of our card. I just ran out of adhesive. Oh, Jenny, wake up. Actually, no, I don't want you to wake up. It's okay. You can always watch the replay. And I totally get it. If you're on pain meds, there's not much you can do about being so sleepy. Okay, so there's the top. And then on the bottom, we're going to do Wishing You a Season of Cheer, which I also need to clean off. And I'm going to stamp this a little bit on the left-hand side, just so I have room for that snowflake on the right. Or you could stamp the greeting on the right, put the snowflake on the left. I also kind of put my knot over on that side too. So now we're going to tie our ribbon around and into a double knot. And we want to do it, so right now you can see my left, so the ribbon is on the left, is going over the top of the right. So we go over the top and around. Okay? Then I'm going to put my finger in the middle, and then now my right, this one is going to go over the top of the left and around. I don't like tying ribbons slow because then I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. If you did left over right, you would end up with one of those perfect crosses where you're like, why does my ribbon look like a cross instead of like, you know, laying to the left and to the right? That's why. So you can start whichever one you want. Just do the opposite the second time. I've been told that that's a square knot. I am not a Girl Scout. That's just how I tie my ribbon. Trim off my tails. And I really want this to scoot down here. So I'm going to squeeze my cardstock and then rotate it over. And squeeze my cardstock and move it up a little and have my knot over there. And then I added this to the card front with Stampin' Dimensionals. So yeah, I'm like the worst. I feel like if anything, I need to like record myself making the bow and then like slow it down and then do like a voiceover to say like what I'm doing, because like whenever I slow it down too much to like show you guys, then I feel like I get like off and I'm like, how did I just do that? Okay, wait, where am I at now? But yeah. I know a lot of you guys don't like ribbon and bows and knots and everything else. So I try to offer as many suggestions as I can. And I will also say practice makes perfect, and I do a lot. Especially whenever I do a class, people are like, can you do mine? And I'm like, I can, but this is just more practice for me and not for you. Okay, and then I used gold. So we're going to put a big gold one there and a medium gold one. I don't know where. I think I'm going to put it like there. And then the small, I should have done the medium up top. And the small there. I can't help but feel like it looks like the Big Dipper though. It's like, wah. I think it'll be okay. I hope so. Okay. And then for the inside of the card, I just did a tree and a Happy New Year. So we'll pull back that tree, mossy meadow. and a Happy New Year. And where's our envelope? So we can do a tree on there. Oh no. I'm off a little, so let's see if I can line that up. Nailed it. Oh, I didn't really want to stamp again. Okay, I want to go here and here. And then see how it looks like really white over here? So then it kind of looks like a tier of trees. So I'm just going to come back in and just stamp there just to kind of like, you know, greenery the background so it's not like stark white. See how it looks like a little bit more like woodsy than it does 1, 2, 3 trees. So that's kind of the look that I was going for with that. So whichever one you prefer, you can stop there. You can always kind of go back in and add that little extra one. I'm so glad you love the cards, Judy. I loved chatting with you during class today. So yeah. I have the Big Dipper with my snowflakes over here. Maybe I should add like an extra one or something like down there. But then now it's odds or even. Laura, you're going to overdo it. Stop. I think I'm going to add it up there in the corner. Okay. I like it better with 5 than I did with the 3 that look like the Big Dipper. So yeah. Let me know if you thought it looked like a Big Dipper too, that you're not alone. I did as well. But this is card number 5 of our class tonight. I'll bring back in all those samples. You can vote which one you like the best. This was number 1 in the green and the red. Number 2 with the horse and the sleigh. Number 3 with that little dirty bunny. And number 4 with the woodsy, masculine, joyful look. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this stamp class. I loved stamping with all of you guys and had so much fun. Like I said, let me know in the comments which one you like. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you and love you too. Feel free to comment. I love to see those. And I always like to comment back as well. So it's super fun to be able to do that. If you are looking to get this bundle because you're now in love with it like I am, then definitely check out the links in the description below. You can go to shop.LaurasStampPad.com so that you can shop that. If you want to go to my Etsy shop and check out the PDF tutorial for this class and any of the other classes I've done, you can always check out Last Christmas in July or any of my Christmas card classes that happened last fall. Then you can definitely do that. Again, there's a link in the description box on YouTube as well as on Facebook, or you can always message me, and I'm happy to guide you in the correct direction. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Love, hugs, and prayers to all of you guys. I really appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.